Hey, you guys, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. And today we're going to talk about things that minimalists never or rarely buy. So the topic of minimalism is so popular right now. And I've had the opportunity to interview several minimalists on this show. And you guys always love learning about the tips and the tricks when I have them on, as do I, and how we can all learn to live with less. And the decluttering trend has really taken off with organization experts like Marie Kondo and the Home Edits. And these people have just made things very aesthetically pleasing and simple, and it's just a really great thing. And I feel like a lot of people really started making changes when COVID hit and we were all stuck inside for weeks. And you look around and you're like, oh my gosh, we have so much stuff. Do we need all this stuff? And people started questioning those things, which is really great. So one of my main goals on the show is to help you handle money wisely. And we talk about budgeting a lot. And one of the first things I encourage you to do when you're working towards your money goals, whether it's paying off debt or saving up for an emergency fund, is to cut things out of your budget that you don't use, like unused streaming services, gym memberships, expensive grocery stores, those kinds of things. So today I'm going to be reacting to a list of things that minimalists claim that they never use. And I'll also share a few items of my own that I either stopped buying altogether or again limited since this idea of minimalism has taken over. So I thought this could be helpful if you're trying to trim your budgets. Or maybe you've thought about doing a no spend month where you don't spend any money except for paying the bills, but you don't really know where to start. So hopefully this will give you some good ideas. All right, the first thing that minimalists claim that they never buy is single-use items. So this is anything that you use once and then you discard or dispose afterwards. So things like plastic Ziploc bags, grocery bags, plastic water bottles, single-use coffee cups, paper towels, disposable silverware or straws, to-go boxes, anything styrofoam, even disposable razors, gift wrapping, balloons, all this stuff. So all of these things on that list are not great for the environment. Plus, they take up unnecessary space in your house, which again, we all get frustrated, with that like Tupperware drawer that's like missing lids and all the things. So, all right, guys, that's one of the first things that we see is the single-use stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I am guilty on basically every single one of those items, but I get it. Like when I read that, I'm like, yes, that makes sense. The hard thing for me always is like, what's convenient? What is quick? What is something that I can do very fast? And usually it's those single-use items. So if you remove that stuff though, again, not only does it give you more space because you only have the things that you're gonna use, but it's good all around. So I totally get it. All right, the second thing minimalists tend to stay away from are trendy clothes. So trends come and go, as we know. And either they buy secondhand items and they're like, yep, they get a great discount, or they just invest in really quality pieces that are going to last. So, again, you see people and they're like, oh, it's this or that, and it's this look and that look. Listen, for a lot of minimalists, they're like, hey, we're going to just kind of stick to one thing. Like, we're going to wear black. The minimalists, actually, this is like what they're known for, is their black t-shirts. Because again, you can look sleek and cool, and it takes way less effort to dress in the mornings because you're like, I know exactly what I'm going to wear. Everything always matches. You can do a smaller wardrobe, and you don't have to keep up with the trends constantly. So I think this is really key. Now, y'all know I love clothes. So if I do buy trendy pieces, I do not buy very expensive ones. I like, whether it's Amazon or Target or whatever, I buy them very inexpensive. But it does, take up room in the closet. And I get that. So I even go through and I'm like purging stuff because I'm like, oh, I do hate that feeling when you walk in and you're like, I feel like I have nothing to wear, but you have a closet full of stuff. So this trend, I totally get, not to buy trendy things and to go really simple with the wardrobe because it does take less effort when that's your mindset. So I get it. All right, the third thing that minimalists don't buy is excessive home decor. So anything seasonal, it's pretty much a tactic of consumerism these days because they take advantage of every single holiday. When you walk into Walgreens in August and it's like Halloween and you're like, what? And there's Christmas and there's Valentine's Day, all this stuff. So minimalists would say, do not buy, themed candy or again, spooky spider webs, with stuff. Like it's like, go very simple. Anything extra around the house you don't need. Now, Some people are very passionate about those throw pillows that are per season and all the things. But man, it just takes up so much time, and again, storage really is what it ends up being. So this is one that I can fully get on board with. I am not a seasonal decorator at all. I mean, Christmas is the one that I'm like, all right, we'll do some stuff around Christmas, but if you come in my kitchen in February and you come in my kitchen in October, it's gonna look the exact same. I'm not a seasonal decorator. And again, it's nice because you're not having to keep changing stuff out and buying things and storing things. It's just very simple. So I love that one. All right, the fourth thing that minimalists avoid is single-use kitchen gadgets and extra dishes. So this is a really good one. So think about any tool that does a job that, a knife or a spoon could do. So just think about this. Apple slicers, ice cream scoopers, lemon or lime squeezers, multiple types of glassware and drinkware and silverware and plates and bowls and all the things. There's just a lot of stuff around the kitchen. Now, I have some of the things on that list, I'm not gonna lie, and I love a good lemon or lime squeezer. I just feel like you get a lot of juice when you use those, so I do like that. But yeah, a regular spoon can scoop ice cream. Like, we don't need 3 different ice cream scoops, but there are these accessories around the kitchen that you end up buying, and you pull a drawer and it's like all this stuff is just in there and you don't need it all. So I can appreciate that one. All right, the fifth thing that minimalists rarely buy are single-use beauty or hygiene items. So cotton balls, Q-tips, makeup remover wipes, multiple makeup brushes, nail polish, all of that. I'm not a very good minimalist on this episode because I use a lot of that stuff, you guys. I really do. But it makes sense. Like, I get it because it does. It's wasteful and it takes up room and all of it. But for me, there are things that have like very specific use that I'm like, oh yeah, I do use that. But then you get in your head and you're like, oh, you end up buying more and buying more and buying more. And then you look up and you're like, oh, we have drawerfuls of stuff that we really don't need. So again, it's all about prioritizing and asking like, am I really gonna use this? So here are a couple of things that I can tell you that I definitely have stopped buying or really bought less of using this mindset. So if you're trying to make some changes in your life, just look for really simple things that you can even just take out of your monthly budget to save money, and then you end up not buying certain things in those categories, which is really nice. So for me, cleaning supplies. So I have kitchen cleaners that I actually make homemade, and it's so inexpensive. It's honestly probably way better just from like a chemical standpoint. It smells really good. It's easy to do, all of it. So I'll actually put a link to the video that I did for all cleaning supplies that you can make at home. And again, it's so less expensive and I love it. Another thing is I've learned over the years, kids' shoes. Y'all, I used to buy so many shoes. Like, my girls would have 3 different types of sandals and all this stuff. And it wasn't even for like looks. It was just like, oh, the more quantity we have, if something's lost, we don't have to go look for it. Like, it's right there. It's convenient. It's quick. But I've been done with that. I'm like, nope. So I'm like, every kid needs 3 pairs of shoes. You need a pair of tennis shoes. You need some like flip-flops or sandals running around in the summer. And then like a nicer pair of shoes, like if we're going to church or doing something kind of nicer. But besides that, we don't need the in-between shoes. Like, this is all we need. So for me, I simplified that. Oh, and it made life so much better. And then I also simplified my beauty routine, like even my skincare. There was a time in my life where you would have, 5 or 6 things I would do at night to my skin. Now, 50-year-old Rachel may regret all of this, but now I'm like, I just wash my face and put on some moisturizer and go to bed. So I don't make it complicated. And again, saving money that way for sure. So there are things I've definitely pulled back from, which has been very nice and simplified. But I also find what's practical for you and your family is great, and just make sure it's in the budgets. So there you have it, you guys. Some practical shopping habits from me, and definitely from all the minimalists out there. So if minimal living seems daunting or even impossible for you, or you're kind of skeptical about changing your shopping and spending habits, I challenge you to pick just one of these things that we talked about today. Do it for a month, or do without it for a month, and see what happens, because you might be surprised about how you're really able to adapt, how you may not miss that thing at all. So make sure to send this video to a friend and challenge them to do the same thing. And if you do it, put it on social, tag me, because I want to see the progress. Because again, I think trying new things and learning, hey, if I'm comfortable in something, if I do something and change it, it actually may help me and my budget. So make sure to check all that out. And remember, you guys, to take control of your money and create a life you love.